from a Western Iowa Tech account. His federal prison term is scheduled to begin in January. The parents of 18-year-old murder victim Candace Harms are offering their thanks for the conviction of the man charged with killing their daughter. 31-year-old Roger Bjorklund was charged in the abduction, rape, and murder of Candace Harms today in a Lincoln courtroom. District Judge Donald Endicott set a sentencing hearing to begin on January 24th. Endicott says he will determine the sentence himself, foregoing his right to ask 2 other judges be appointed to help him decide whether Bjorklund should be condemned to death. Area gun enthusiasts are worried that government support for a ban on assault weapons in Iowa will outlaw their hunting rifles and have started a petition drive to ensure their rights. Gun control is a hot issue in the Iowa Senate with the upcoming vote of the Brady bill that should be the U.S. Senate and is expected to be discussed in next year's Iowa legislative session in an effort to deter juveniles from obtaining guns. As Jackie Jarris reports, leaders of a local gun support group say banning the weapons is not the answer, and it will take away their Second Amendment rights.
Ready, man.
The semi-automatic rifles Eric Millis and Matt Higgins of Plymouth County are firing may soon be outlawed if gun control activists have their way. The men say they use the guns primarily for the sport and that there's nothing threatening about them if used properly. But some Iowa politicians say it's adding to the teen gun problem in the state. Millis and Higgins say they're tired of misconceptions the public has about these rifles and have started a petition drive that will be sent to Iowa politicians supporting the Second Amendment right to keep and bear firearms.
For over 200 years, the American citizens have had the right to keep and bear arms. Gun laws have been proven ineffective everywhere.
Millis and Higgins say the guns shown here would be included in the definition of assault weapons. They say they're no different than your regular shotgun other than the number of cartridges it can hold and the speed of loading. Higgins says the number of rounds doesn't matter and it only takes 1 bullet to kill. Millis says banning these semi-automatic guns is not the answer. He says they're not the guns of choice of criminals or of juveniles because they're too large and not easy to conceal. He says the guns are best used for target practicing and for hunting.
We will always have kids that are going to get a hold of guns, and it probably won't be Dad's .357 or his shotgun. Most likely it's going to be the gun he buys from somebody at school or on the street, and we can't control that. The only way we can control it is to put people who sell guns to kids in jail.
Millis and Higgins say they agree that something needs to be done to control teenagers' access to the guns, but says the key is education, not taking away the citizens' Second Amendment rights. Jackie Jarris, Major 9 News, Plymouth County.
2nd District State Representative Pat Gill says he would be in support of a ban on assault weapons. He says something must be done in order to get guns out of the hands of teenagers. Gill says it's a growing problem in Iowa. He says the public wants action.
I think that overall, I don't think it would have a huge impact on crime, but I think it does send a message. People are very frustrated with what's been happening, and violence grows every day, and people want to see some sort of action taken on it, and it's easy to point to that, and I think it does send a message, the proper message to people.
Gill says he expects the issue of gun control to be discussed in next year's legislative session, but says it will be difficult defining just what an actual assault weapon is. Well, yesterday's vote approving the Union County School District's reorganization plan prompted about 50 students to walk out of school this morning. The new plan divides Jefferson students into 2 new districts. One will be called Elk Point, the other Dakota Valley. Dawn Scott has more on tearful students' strong and emotional opposition to the new consolidation plan.
Jefferson students who tried to leave school were quickly escorted back to the gym for a school assembly. Jefferson police were called in to assure that fights wouldn't break out. None did, and police succeeded in getting students back inside.
We don't even know what we're supposed to do.
Hey, they get out of school at 3:30.
But no one could control the students' anger and tears.
Just about everybody's upset. People left. People have been crying.
It makes me feel upset because my friends have to choose between me and their parents and have to choose schools. And I'm in sports myself, and this leather jacket doesn't mean anything. I worked so hard for it, and now it doesn't mean anything.
Students' biggest question is why separate friends and family?
Like my little brother, he'll be going to the different schools, so I'll be cheering against him.
And my sister, I'll be playing basketball and other sports against her, because she'll be going to Alpointe, and I'm undecided right now. I don't know where I'm going.
Interim Superintendent Bob Olson says the anger stems from the fact that students will lose the identity they have at Jefferson.
I feel a certain amount of sympathy for the kids because I can understand where they're coming from. I guess I have sympathy for everybody that's emotionally involved in this.
Students organized into a more peaceful assembly after they calmed down. They had the opportunity to question school board members.
Because we did all this, we've been in high school for so many years, and I mean, we worked hard to get what we got, and it's going for nothing.
Well, I'm telling them I understand how they feel. They feel like they've really lost something very important in their life. It's like a death. They're hurting inside.
Students don't want to give up hope on Jefferson. They say they want to start another petition. Students were dismissed from afternoon classes, but didn't go home. They gathered on gym mats to commiserate about Jefferson High. Dawn Scott, Major 9 News, Jefferson, South Dakota.
Sioux City Mayor Jim Morton says he's more optimistic than ever that 1,300 jobs at the Sioux City John Morrell plant can be saved. Morton will meet with Governor Terry Branstad tomorrow in Des Moines to nail down final details of an incentive package that includes city, state, and county money.
Our reception from them has been very, very positive. In fact, everywhere we've gone asking for help on this thing, we're receiving it not only from the state, but from all of our other economic development partners like Western Iowa Tech, Midwest Energy, even the county. Woodbury County's interested in this thing, the Siouxland Initiative in the city. We've been able to really generate it is unanimous support across the board to put something together.
In September, Morrell's corporate owners announced they would shut the plant down before December 10th of this year. However, since that time, local and state officials have been working feverishly, trying to put together an economic incentive package that would entice the company to stay open. Morton says he's now confident that Morrell officials will be receptive to an incentive proposal. And he says final details should be completed in the next several days. The House debate on the free trade agreement has passed the halfway mark with a vote expected before 9 o'clock tonight. Supporters of the pact are continuing to gain strength. Opponents seem to be acknowledging the tide has turned against them. Iowa's congressional delegation is now unanimous in its support of NAFTA. According to the Associated Press, all 5 members, including Central Iowa Democrat Neil Smith, say they will vote in favor of NAFTA tonight. Smith had been uncommitted, but said he was leaning toward supporting the trade pact with Mexico and Canada. The other members, Fred Grandy, Jim Leach, Jim Ross Lightfoot, and Jim Nussel, had already endorsed the agreement. Coming up, Tom Peterson says we'll have a nice day tomorrow, but the Arctic Express arrives by Friday.
It's got to be here somewhere. I thought it was right here. Where's that stud?
Look what you can find at Hank's. The Bemis Whole House Humidifier, $89. Angelo Frosted Light Bulbs, 77 cents a 4-pack. 6-piece Vermont American Power Screwdriver Set, $4.99.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank. Hardware Hank.
Hello, Iowans. Just helping Santa with some deliveries. Seems one of his antelope got sick. Reindeer. Oh, yes, reindeer. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you about the new Holiday Bonus Bingo game from the Iowa Lottery. We've returned to our original ticket style and added 5 bonus caller's card numbers. And now top prize is up to $25,000. Holiday Bonus Bingo is a jolly good stocking stuffer, and it sure helps lighten my load while I'm filling in for this Randolph character. Rudolph. Oh, who cares? I'm standing here in this utterly ridiculous outfit, and you're quibbling about the name of some silly moose. Hey!
Good Morning America is island bound.
To the paradise that is Puerto Rico.
So join us as we say Buenos Dias from Puerto Rico.
This Thursday and Friday on Good Morning America.
1994 Chevy Cavalier. It's the best-selling small car in the Tri-States. It has more standard horsepower than Ford Escort and Honda Civic. And Chevy Cavalier is the lowest-priced car in America with standard anti-lock brakes. And for a limited time, you can lease the new Cavalier for only $184 a month for 36 months with $500 down payment. A new Cavalier, only $184 a month, with the features you want. The smart choice, Chevy Cavalier. Available at your Tri-State Chevy dealers.
Tonight.
Hold it right there.
The boys plot to break up Denisha and Leonard.
He used to be so sweet. Now all of a sudden he's a selfish jerk, like you guys.
Is it all over now? On Thea.
Whoop, there it is.
Then is Grandpa spoiling the kids?
I'm the grandfather who gives the best presents.
It's not about whether or not you're rich. It's about showing up.
Joe's life.
Mostly. Well, there it is.
Tonight, here on KCAU TV.
A Jackson County, Iowa family is trying to put their lives back together after the plane that was carrying South Dakota Governor George Mickelson and 7 others crashed into their farm earlier this year. Yesterday, the Ambrosi family began pouring the walls for their new barn. It will replace the one destroyed nearly 7 months ago. The crash and fire destroyed a number of buildings and killed dozens of farm animals. They're now trying to rebuild the farmstead. We'll have more on this story and how it's affected this family's lives tonight at 10. The Arctic Express coming?
Well, cold weather, yeah.
Cold weather.
Not necessarily a winter storm or anything, but a lot of cold air is coming. And it's more typical of February when it's Valentine's Day than right around now. But
nice.
Speaking of February, oh, isn't this guy smooth? Look at this pointer. You see the little Cupid here moves on its axis, has KCAU, and then there's a big heart right there. And it's a beaut of a pointer. It's one of the best of the pointers. But the problem is that somehow in the massive bureaucracy that is the pointer department, we don't know. It's one of the best of the pointers, as I say, volume 16, but we don't know who made this pointer. It's somehow, you know, when you have the dozens and dozens of people working on this thing that we do down here, we sometimes lose the actual maker's name. So if your organization was responsible or you know who made this one, please give us a call and let us know, and we'll try and let you know later on. Because it was nice. It just somehow was a little slip-up. I think it was in Uncle Freddie's department. So overnight, the temperatures were in the 20s around here. Warmer air to the southeast and the teens up in the northern plains, but no below zero weather in the country at all. It has been a very nice day with the clouds that were to the southeast last night moving off, a big system out there, and some moving in from the west. That will sort of cloud up the skies tonight, but in the meantime, today was very, very nice. Now, there has been precipitation in Northern California and on the East Coast. If you've been watching reports on the ABC Evening News about the NAFTA debate, Britt Hume is standing there with with an umbrella because it is wet out there. And thunderstorms have been occurring down in the deep south. But for us, a very nice day with clear skies. The rule for Siouxland, cloudiness out to the west, will be a part of our weather tonight. The day, however, tomorrow should be about as nice as today with more clouds. Then some colder air is coming in, but more on that in a moment. 37 degrees in Sioux City, from 36 to 42 degrees. The range of temperatures now, 36 in Worthington to 42 in Storm Lake, 37 in Sioux City with partly cloudy skies, a south breeze at 8, and steady barometric pressure. 46 and 45, it's an absolutely normal day today. The precipitation has not been around, and we have none on the national radar. Summers are getting past these rather quickly. It is out east, and lots of it, with some thunderstorms as well in Virginia and the central Appalachian Mountains. So this is the cloud maker for us, and it will at the same time bring in some cooler air from the Arctic that will be felt, as we see in the forecast. Not tonight, 32-degree low, south to southwest wind increasing to 10 to 15 miles an hour. But after tomorrow, high of 55, a south to southwest wind, a low of 30 degrees. By Friday, 36 for a high and 18 for a low. Not that pretty. A north to northwest wind, 15 to 30 and gusty. Extended forecast is cold as well. Come Saturday, 38 for a high, then warming back for Monday. That's 52 degrees for a high. Greg?
All right, thank you, Tom. Still ahead tonight, one of Siouxland's most traveled highways could be expanded. That story and more coming up.
You are looking at the #1 selling car in the upper Midwest. The best-selling full-size sedan in America. Model year to date, LeSabre has outsold all 3 LH cars combined. Think about it. Now with dual airbags and anti-lock brake standard. The '94 Buick LeSabre. Test drive it, buy it.
Buick is leading the way.
The best-selling car in the upper Midwest is available at your Quality Buick dealer, and it's better than ever.
For a snow thrower that will handle any snowfall, we suggest a Toro Power Curve. They're lightweight, easy to handle, and throw snow up to 30 feet.